I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and the CES unboxing fun continues with Verizon Wireless's LG Spectrum. Let's take a look. So here it is, another device post-CES, finally in the office, the LG Spectrum on Verizon Wireless. Now this thing came out a couple days ago, just before the weekend, and like I said, it's nice to see these CES devices coming out a little bit faster as opposed to waiting, 2-3 months for your CES devices. By that time, it's kind of old news, and it's a little bit less exciting to get those. Special thanks to Best Buy Mobile for hooking us up with a bunch of phones just like this for use in our One Paw Bandit game. When you go into Best Buy Mobile, you won't deal with rebates. You'll walk in, you'll get this device for $200 out the door. You don't deal with waiting 8 to 10 weeks for a debit card or dealing with paperwork, anything like that. At Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out without dealing with the rebates. 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon processor on this bad boy. It's got a 4.5-inch True HD display at 720p with IPS technology. It's got an 8-megapixel camera that shoots video at 1080p, and here's the device. And you can see here, pretty good looking device, and it's very similar to the LG Nitro HD on AT&T, minus a few body changes. First of all, you'll notice the battery cover isn't texturized. It's a glossy battery cover, kind of like the Fascinate, if you remember that device on Verizon. A little bit different from the Nitro HD, but you've still got your volume rocker over here on the left side. Your actually 3 capacitive buttons down here at the bottom. Your menu button, your home button, and your back button. Now, at first glance, it looks like this is a physical button, whereas these two are capacitive, but it's actually a capacitive button as well. That kind of metal look just sits below the surface. So it's still capacitive. It's got a front-facing camera as well. We'll go ahead and power this on. We'll let this be doing its thing while we look on the back. 8-megapixel camera with 1080p HD video recording. Nothing over here on this side. A little bit more boxy than the Nitro HD on AT&T, but here's what that looks like. So you can see in the box, a nice little flap here to pull it up. You got Master Your Device, Spectrum by LG in the box. Let's see what else we get down in here. We'll go ahead and open these up so you can take a look. And of course your AC adapter module and your micro USB charging cord, which doubles up as your USB cable when you're not using it for charging cords. Typical stuff down here in the box, nothing too exciting. Master Your Device, consumer information about radio frequency emissions, important consumer information, información importante al consumidor, and product and safety and warranty information all on the Spectrum. So again, nothing too exciting down in the box. Don't get a whole lot of accessories outside of your USB cable and your AC adapter module, but then again, Verizon wants you to buy that stuff, or any carrier for that matter, wants you to buy that stuff instead of getting it free in the box. So here's the device itself, and we'll bring it up a little closer to the camera so you can take a look. 4G LTE embellished there on the bottom. You got your speaker down here at the bottom, micro USB charging port with a flap up top, 3.5mm headphone jack, and a power button as well. Nothing down here at the bottom. I actually have a sticker down here we can go ahead and pull off. Go ahead and remove that. Got one of the stickers left. And you can see typical LG interface here. This is running Android 2.3, so it's running Gingerbread out of the gate with LG's user interface. So you can see 7 home screens on this bad boy, and then you should have the ability to pinch to zoom, or pinch to bring those out if you will, as well. So you can see relatively fast dual-core processor. The LG interface, I've had some love-hate experiences with the LG interface just because I feel like it's not entirely fleshed out. And even though this device is a little bit cheaper at $199 instead of $299 like Verizon's typical 4G LTE offerings, it's still kind of unacceptable to have a non-fleshed out user interface on a device that is this high-end. So I would love to have seen more of a stock experience here as opposed to LG's interface, but hey, it's on the device. There's not a whole lot we can do. So you can see down here, typical dock setting, phone, contacts, messaging, and then apps. Like I said, 7 home screens, which we'll get into in just a second. And then you can see this typical LG structure in the menu. You got your communication. It's all kind of separated out. Communication, HD, and I did not mean to click on that. Let's go back and go back to apps. And we'll come in here and just say Verizon Wireless, for example, and you can close these out and actually have them kind of organized by folders so we can get all those closed out so you can see when you get in the menu, you get organized by communication HD. This is the way it's like out of the box. Verizon Media, News and Search, Tools, Applications, so a lot of different folders. And then you can see Applications, we can open that up. Tools, so if you use Tools a lot, you use News and Search, you use Media quite a bit, you can open all these up. And then of course through the menu, you can organize them, manage your apps, you can move them around between Media, News, and Search, all the different folders. And then of course, let's go back, you can change the layout as well. You can do it to category or as a list, so you can easily see they're organized from A to Z. Go back into category so we can take a look. And of course you can manage the categories as well and get rid of categories as you see fit. And then of course create new ones. So if it's like Aaron's apps that he uses all the time, I can create a specific folder for that and do it that way. So let's take a look at the browser here. 4G LTE connectivity on this device. We'll go ahead and go to PhoneDog.com. And you'll notice out of the gate, 2 keyboards pre-installed on this. You've got the typical LG keyboard and you have Swipe pre-installed as well. So we'll go into PhoneDog.com. Let that load, and I'm not used to this keyboard, as you can tell. PhoneDog.com. And you know, it's one of those, it types a lot like an iPhone, it sounds like an iPhone, and it actually looks a little bit like iOS's keyboard, but I don't like the fact that the button to get rid of the keyboard is right beside the enter button. I find that I'm often pressing that instead of enter in things like browsers or text messages. But again, you can see transition effects relatively fast here. I already got a new email, that's pretty cool. And then you can see PhoneDog loading up with Verizon's 4G LTE connectivity. So pinch to zoom, relatively responsive here as well. So this device, you know, you can really see the dual-core processor at work here. That said, it's going to boil down to whether you like the interface, you know, whether you prefer LG's custom user interface, or you prefer HTC Sense, or you prefer TouchWiz 4, or maybe Ice Cream Sandwich on the Galaxy Nexus, the stock experience, or the relatively stock experience, if you will. You may like that a little bit more than LG's custom user interface. But for the people that do, it's a nice alternative on Verizon. Still custom Verizon applications here pre-installed, and you get quite a few of them out of the box. You get Amazon Kindle, BitBop, Blockbuster, Hot Pursuit, Let's Golf 2, Mobile Hotspot, My Verizon Mobile, NFL Mobile, Rhapsody, TuneWiki, Apps, VCast, Tones and Media Manager, Verizon Video, Video Surf, and VZ Navigator. So you get a lot of bloatware out of the box, and if history is any indicator, let's take a look here and see if these can be uninstalled, but I have a feeling that they can. Of course, you can do third-party applications, which is nice. So if there's something you want, it's not in the Android market, you can sideload applications, but you can uninstall the updates. It does not look like you can actually uninstall the individual applications, just the updates, as odd as that is. So unfortunately, the Verizon stuff is on the device and it's on there to stay, which a lot of people, again, you know, you don't want that bloatware. Unfortunately, you've got to keep it on the device. So all in all, you know, pretty nice feature-rich device. Like I said, 1080p HD video recording there on the back, and then it's got the Adreno 220 GPU, which is pretty nice as well. Battery, 1,830 milliamp hour battery here. So, you know, again, with the IPS display, it's going to suck battery pretty quickly, and I have a feeling it's going to be on par with the Nitro HD still. Verizon's 4G LTE consumes battery a little bit differently than AT&T's 4G LTE, so we'll take a look in the review and give you a true idea of what battery life's really like, among other things. Much more coverage to come on PhoneDog.com with the LG Spectrum, so keep it locked on the site. As always, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDog. We're always doing cool stuff there, so be sure to check that out, and be sure to hit me up on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/PhoneDogAB. There you go, you can see the notification bar. Typical shortcuts up there as well. Portrait to landscape, orientation, sound, Bluetooth, GPS, airplane mode, and then a nice big button here to turn Wi-Fi on and off. So a pretty decent device, a nice addition to Verizon's lineup, and hey, it's always good to see the CES devices coming out a little bit faster. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.